Hello, hello everyone. Hello, hello. I'm going to be finishing Storm and starting on Wolverine. So I think for Storms, I'm almost complete. Almost done with Storm, but I do need a few things here and there just to kind of clean her up a bit and add a bit more of like a shadow. And also I'm going to be throwing a little bit of lightning on her hand, on one of her hands. So let's look at time-lapse replay really quick. So how's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. So I do like this time-lapse feature. I do like seeing the entire process from beginning to end, all condensed, which is pretty cool. This time-lapse kind of looks cool. Kind of seeing all of the corrections, editing, and just nice, like smooth process, the cleanup process of everything that I've done. So now that I'm looking at it, I am gonna fix her hand. Just looks a little bit too big right here in this section. Okay, so that was complete. All right, so I'm gonna yes, I'm going to be using. Okay, there. I'm gonna be using the liquefy tool. Let's use the liquefy tool. I'm gonna use a liquefy tool just to kind of push and pull and fix this part of her hand. Just make it a bit thinner, not too exaggerated, just a little bit. There you go. That looks a little bit better. And now I'm going to go back and clean up some of those areas. I'm going to color this in. Oops. Yeah, these are the type of areas that I'm gonna have to zoom all the way in just to make sure everything is clean. The soft blend one is a nice one. But again, it depends on the pressure that I put. Okay, so let's do some lightning on her hand. I really do want some lightning before I'm gonna do this on a separate layer. I'm gonna move that ahead. I'm gonna try one of these particle effects. I think it's in the elements area. So there's a smoke, flame, water, clouds. I think we try vintage. No. Luminous. There you go. Luminous is the one that probably might have. I think the light pen is the one that's going to work. Light pen. So this one is the one that should look cool, but I kind of want to see if I should draw it in yellow. Let's see how that looks like. I do want it to look a bit okay, so I don't know if yellow is gonna work too well. Maybe, let's see. I'm gonna have to see an example online just to kind of get a reference idea. Okay, so from what I've seen, okay, the best looking one is a something with a blue, with a nice blue. There has to be okay. You're white. So I'm gonna do it blue first. I'm gonna add some sparks here and there. And then add some white in the middle of it so it can really stand out. So that's what's looking really cool so far. Oh, never mind. The more I press on it, the white comes out in the middle. So it is a light pen. Let me see. Okay, so that is actually looking really cool so far. And what I am going to do is I'm going to have one more layer because I'm going to add a light blue light effect on her entire body, but only where the lightning's coming from, just to kind of get a good some good lighting effect. Hey, what's up, Ninja Slug? How's it going? How's it going? Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really, really liking how this is turning out. I'm really liking how it's turning out. So right now I'm finishing up the small details, adding some lightning, and I'm going to add, in a little bit I will be finally starting Wolverine. I'm gonna start drawing Wolverine really soon. I'm going to add another layer. So this is going to be a almost like a bloom lighting layer. And I think I'm going to go for a soft blend. Let's see how that looks like. And this one, I think I'm going to do a screen. Let's see how a screen looks like. I'm trying to get a good blend. So I'm going to see how that looks like. So green, lighten, color dodge, add, overlay. Hue is not working really well. Oh, this one might be a good one. So color. This one might actually be the best one. Color. Oh yes, this is Sexy Storm. Exactly. Sexy Storm. Actually, okay, oh, you know what? Speaking about Deadpool, I drew Deadpool years ago using colored pencil. I did draw Deadpool using like basic color pencils, and I also used these ink pens. So instead, I'm gonna edit Deadpool using Procreate just to fix him up a bit. It's that classic Deadpool pose where he's laying down. So I'm not gonna redraw him. I might do him in a sketch, but I'm gonna fix him up in Deadpool. But for sure, that one's gonna be a fun one to do. Yeah, I think Lion might be the best one. I need to soften up the. Okay. So yeah, I'll let you know when that happens. I'll tag you in the Discord. But yeah, that one's gonna be a fun one because yeah, I drew Deadpool so long, like at least 2 years ago. I don't know. It's probably gonna be like 3 years ago, but it was fun because it was the first time I drew. It was the first time in a long time where I drew where I colored in color pencil, and it takes so long. But I just want to kind of finish it up in yeah, on this on my iPad just to kind of make it as clean as I can. I'm trying to add some nice lighting, but yeah, that one's not looking good. Trying to find a good light. Yeah, I'm trying to find a good way to blend in like the light that's coming in. Yeah, just a little bit of this type of lighting will make it feel like the lightning in her hands kind of bouncing the light off of everything in her body. I'm just gonna add it in these small areas. It kind of gives it like a light glow effect. Yeah, and eventually I will be doing a fully edited video on how I did this entire thing. So how's your day going, Slug? How's your day been? Yeah, today I just wanted to do a chill art stream. And I think she's going to need a bit more shadows. She's going to need a bit more shadows. Okay, nice. Everything's going good. Nice, nice. Yeah, it is a hot one today. It is so hot today. It is 90 something. It's like 95 today for us over here. Yeah, I feel like she needs a bit more shadow. I have an entire shadow section. There you go. I feel like she needs a little bit more shadows in some areas. Just to make sure like the it has like a cool comic book striking outline. Oh, you saw a Dragon Ball Z super fight? Brawly versus Gogeta. Nice, nice. You mean a drawing or you saw it on the at the anime or you saw an anime of it? Man, okay, so you know what's funny? I grew up watching the original Dragon Ball, you know, Kid Goku, but I barely saw any episodes of Dragon Ball Z, which I know is the most popular one. I know that's the most popular one, but kind of grew up watching the original Dragon Ball and I saw all of them as I got older completely, but that's all I saw. Oh, YouTube anime fight, nice. Those are always cool looking. I think way back in the day, I used to watch those videos where those YouTube fights where someone would do a compilation of what was it called the where they would fight like characters like Nintendo characters versus Dragon Ball characters. It was funny. It was like Dragon Ball fighters versus Nintendo characters, and they would be like they would use the same sprites from the video games to do like these exaggerated fighting type of like choreographed fights. That was pretty cool. Right now, I'm gonna draw a little. I'm adding some shadows with. I'm gonna add some shadows. Oh, Naruto! I like the Naruto Shippuden fights. Oh, nice, nice, nice. I bet those are very, very stylized and cool looking for sure. All right, there you go. That's what Storm needed right here. Was a bit of a shadow. Yeah, those anime fights are always cool looking because they're so extra and just cool. I'm gonna erase a little bit of it. And I think I haven't really seen. I never really saw Naruto. I remember at a friend's house, I saw maybe a handful of episodes, but that was so long ago. So, which is your favorite anime then, Ninja? What's your favorite anime? My favorite anime, like series, is Ghost in the Shell. Is one of my favorites. One of my favorites. So I'm still adding a bit more shadows. Okay, she needs more shadows in her hair. I'm gonna add a bit more shadows in her hair. Oh, okay. My friend always told me about that show, Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay, so that one, I think I might have seen an episode like years ago, so I don't remember it at all. But I saw maybe one episode, and that's it. I don't remember anything about it, but I heard of it. I have heard of that one. Well, I'm adding some cool, thicker outlines for her hair. Yeah, I heard of that show, the Yu Yu Hakusho. But you know what? I've actually haven't really seen too much anime series. I mainly watched anime movies. So, for example, I've seen all of the Studio Ghibli films. Those are fun. Studio Ghibli movies are really good. Yeah, the Studio Ghibli movies are so cool. I think I've seen all of them because they're on HBO Max. Those are fun to watch. HBO Max had a lot of. That's where I saw most of the Studio Ghibli movies and some other anime movies. I can't think of the names right now, but like Howl's Moving Castle is a good one. Anyo, The Secret World of Ari. What's another one? Oh, and there's an old school one called Ninja Scroll. Ninja Scroll's a good one. There's a movie called Ninja Scroll. I love that movie. But yeah, Ghost in the Shell. Oh, I bought the DVDs. They're so good. The DVDs. There's only 2 seasons of the show. It's so good. I love Ghost in the Shell. I'm gonna do some cool little lines right here just to kind of emphasize her flowing hair. Right, I'm drawing a bit more of, I like these little sketches right here. It does kind of give it a little bit of the style that I like to go for. And I'm only doing a little bit here inside of the shadows. And I recently bought the DVDs from Amazon because they were on sale, so those are fun. Oh, I never heard of that. Big O? I never heard of that. I never heard of that one. Never heard of that one. And I don't want to overdo it with those lines, but I don't want to overdo it with these lines. I never heard of that one either. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up to see. I never heard of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I never heard of that one. For a funny one, there's this funny one called Porco Rosso. It was a funny anime movie. Porco Rosso was a funny one. Okay, so far I think, right, I think I like how she looks there. I can always zoom in and fix it up a little bit more. And always clean up some of the areas a little bit more. Right now I'm just cleaning up some of the places where it kind of went out of bounds. The yellow. Oh, there's also this anime called Redline. If you heard of it, Ninja, Redline was a cool one. That was such a cool movie, Redline. Okay, cool. Okay, let's look at the time lapse one more time. All right, so we're looking at the time lapse. I want to see how far I've gone because I like looking at the process. I'm gonna speed it up just a bit and I want to see how the lightning looks in her arms. All right, there you go. Let's. All right, cool. So she looks good so far. Now what I'm gonna do is draw. I wonder if I should draw Wolverine separately. Yeah, I'm gonna draw Wolverine separately, and then eventually I'm gonna bring them back together. Let's start off with the new. Start with the new size. Actually, yeah, I'll keep it normal. Okay, we're gonna start off, and this is the pose that I like, but I'm gonna actually change it just a little bit. All right, so let's see. Let's have this Wolverine one right here, but I'm gonna switch up the pose just a little bit. But I'm gonna do the gesture drawing. So I'm going to do a light sketch first, just like I did with Storm, and I'm going to use this, yeah, 6B pencil with Yeah, there you go. That's gonna run to you. Yes, on my Instagram, Ninja, on my Instagram to watch. And also on Twitter as well to watch. Here's my Twitter and Instagram. Let me see if I find. Yeah. Oh, a gallery. That would be cool to have. I think the last time I ever had a gallery was in college where we were if I think maybe one or two like you're able to like select like one or two of your paintings or drawings and then that's where I could put them. But yeah, that would be cool to have a gallery, but I would have to have so much paintings to actually like have that or printouts of things. So that'd be cool. But yeah, I do post them everywhere. Even though I do a lot of fan art, I do have original work too that I do try and do. I do other things besides fan art. Right, so let's draw Wolverine's head. I'm gonna start off with Wolverine's head. I'm just gonna get the gist of the details in his pose. Yeah, I do post them in a lot of and I do post them in a lot of places. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for the follow. Yes, you're gonna see all of the posts that I do there for my art stuff and my gaming channel all in one. So you'll see a little bit of everything there from what I post on both of my channels. So thank you. I'm always trying to post on both of my channels. Right, so I'm gonna try and make this pose. This is a very weird, not weird, but difficult pose that he has. Everything is contoured. So I'm just gonna get the gist of his fingers. I think I'm gonna play around with okay, so I made him a little too big, so I'm gonna make him a little smaller. There you go. So this is the one that I kind of wanna emphasize a little bit more. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger than normal. So this is the one where I kind of want the claws to look like they're kind of want to exaggerate the claws like this. I think this is gonna make it look so much better. Even though it might not be accurate, but I mean this is kind of want to really exaggerate the action claws. So Shrink him down one more time. Kind of get these claws right here as well. And again, this is still just the action gesture pose, so I'm always going to be switching it or cleaning it up when I trace over this part. So I have that. So his knee is the one that's going to be a little bit weird right here. You know, that looked a little off. That looked way off. Okay. So I have him jumping kind of towards us. I do want to make his knee just a little bit higher than normal. Let me erase this. That looks a little weird. And I really like the exaggerated boots that he has. With those, whatever you call them, edges of the boots, spikes coming out. And I made his head a little too small, but always fix that. Okay, cool. So that's the basic sketch. That's the basic gesture sketch. It is super, super basic, even with the arm again that I did. Yeah, this is very helpful when you want to get a pose down that's kind of complicated, but so far I do like how that looks. And you know what? This pose is actually, I kind of like. I'm going to work directly on top of this one because I actually like the way that it looks. So what I'm going to do is actually duplicate this one, duplicate it, turn this one off, and make this one. I'm going to make this one. Yeah, I'll turn it into the black. Let me see what color I can turn it in. Yeah, I'll just turn it into a pencil sketch. So we'll see, we'll see. So yeah, this is the one I'm going to manipulate a little bit more. Actually, this one turned out better than I thought. So I'm just gonna start editing this one out more. So I'm gonna erase this, and I basically have his face complete. So now, oh, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna make another layer, and I'm going to draw directly on top with the calligraphy. And let's start doing in those solid colors, those solid shapes. So I'm gonna start off with the bright yellow. Okay, so let's record on my camera. I'm gonna start zooming in. So I'm gonna color in that yellow. Actually, I'm gonna do it right underneath. I'm gonna actually do it right beneath it, just to kind of see how it's gonna look like with. Okay, so yes, hands and feet. So okay, luckily for me, I haven't had that hard of a problem for me. But a lot of a lot of artists do tend to have trouble by drawing hands and feet. Now, for me, it was always the size of the head for me that I always got mixed up with. So yeah, for me, it was always the head, which is weird. I always kind of drew the head either big or small. Now, luckily, fingers do, like, for example, you'll see the fingers right now, I made the hands simple shapes, but oops, I didn't close the shape all the way. Yes, they can get very complicated, especially if they're in a different like angle. They can get very complicated. But I got used to drawing them so much. We used to draw our own hands as projects. That really did help out a lot. But yeah, they are very, very hard if you haven't drawn them, enough times. So yeah, I'm just gonna draw kind of where I think I'm gonna do this right here. And I'm going to draw this yellow here. This is the basic colors right now. Super, super basic. Oops, I did not close the shape again. But yeah, when you draw hands and feet like foreshortened, like coming at you or different angles, it can get very, very complicated. And all right, cool. I close those shapes down. Do his other leg. All right, now let's go for the blue. We're gonna go for that blue color of Logan. Let me see. I don't want it to be so dark just yet. Just yet. Hey, Slug, have you ever attempted to draw anything, even just like when you were younger? Forgot if I ever asked you that, if you ever attempted to draw like anything. Oh, forgot. I'm just gonna do those kind of cool. All right, so I'm just gonna start getting into the details. Let's get into those details. Let me make sure his face is actually correct. And I'm gonna go in with Baskerville, whatever that. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I do want to go in with that. Okay, perfect. Okay. I'm going for this cool looking. Wolverine's face, he's very angry, like he always is, ready to attack. I need to flip him over so I can make sure that easy to draw his face. All right, so the eyes are looking a little weird. Let's fix those. Let me just draw his mouth. His mouth is the one that's a little bit more important. So let me go for a pencil. I'm just gonna go for a 6B pencil first. Give that sketchiness. So it's on finally his face is coming together. I'm gonna go back to Baskerville. Oh, so did I ever draw Nightcrawler? So yeah, no, I've never drawn Nightcrawler, but that would be a really fun one. That would be a really fun one to sketch. So as soon as I start my new sketchbook, I'm probably gonna do a lot more X-Men and things like that. So that'd be a fun one to sketch. That would be a fun one to sketch. Yeah, Nightcrawler, he's such a cool looking character. Such a cool looking character. Nightcrawler, the Juggernaut's gonna be a fun one to draw. So I'm probably gonna do a lot of X-Men, but just in like sketch form. So I'm gonna do the entire outline of him just so that everything kind of comes together with the line work. But you know, another cool one would be Gambit. Gambit would be another cool one to draw. Yeah, Gambit would be another cool one to draw. Yeah, right. Nightcrawler's so freaking cool. Yeah, Nightcrawler is so freaking cool. The way that he looks, the way that he sounds in the movies, the cartoons, they've always done like super cool stuff with the way that he can like, the whole what is it? What's his powers are, to disappear and all of that. With the puff of smoke. I like the yellow eyes. Yeah, he looks so dope. He looks so freaking dope. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know when I do a little sketch of him on my new sketchbook that I'm about to start. That'd be a fun one to do. All right, so I'm drawing the fingers, so hopefully let me see if they come out really cool. All right, so I like these very sharp, pointy things that come out of his boots look freaking cool. Same thing with Mystique. She's always looked really cool. Mystique. Oh, you know who's cool too? Psylocke. Psylocke looks cool. Make his foot a little bit smaller. I'm gonna go for his other fingers right now. Let's see if I can get them correct. That finger looked a little too fat. Okay, not too bad for the fingers. Now his claws. Need to curve that one a little bit more. Okay, now I need to curve these. This is the one where I don't know how they're gonna look just yet. These are super exaggerated, so how they turn out. Might exaggerate those a little bit more eventually. So we'll see. All right, cool. So far looks okay. And now let's finish up his skin tone. He needs some skin tone. Okay. Start off very light, and then kind of work my way in. These areas aren't big, so these I can just kind of fill in. Arm. All right, and his other arm. And now I'm going to add a little bit of a gray instead of a full black. And see how that looks like for his boots. And that way it keeps things from looking so flat if I just use a pure black. Which you can kind of see in his boots that they are using a little bit of a darker blue. And I do like how they're using that. All right, I'm gonna drag. Oh, forgot to close the shape. I close it. Didn't close it. Oh, there we go. I didn't close it all the way. All right, there you go. And now his mask. His mask is gonna look cool now. Now that's gonna be fully covered. All right, so now I'm gonna color the eyes in white. Finish off the yellow on his nose. Let me just add a quick red for his mouth, for his tongue. And again, these are just a solid color just to kind of know where they're gonna go. And so far, that's looking kind of cool. Hey, what's up, Mr. Anti-Idiotic? Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Oh, for do I do requests? Actually, not entirely, but what was something that you wanted to see? Because, for example, I do have tiny sketchbook. I do have like tiny sketchbooks that I do have, and that's where, because it's, watch, look how small it is. So watch, I have this tiny sketchbook right here, and I have more that I'm about to like start. And usually these are the type where I like to experiment with different, like pop culture drawings, and this is where I'm always just doing random things. So this is usually where I just kind of practice drawing pop culture, animals, things like that. But yeah, not normally, but this is kind of the videos that I end up doing. So yeah, it's always a little bit of everything. Oh, so Peter Parker's kissing Kitty Pryde. You know what? I've never heard of Kitty Pryde. I'm gonna have to look that up. I've never even heard of Kitty Pryde. Huh. I never heard of that character. Kitty Pryde. Is that way, or is Kitty Pryde Black Cat? Is that the one I'm thinking about? Black Cat? Because I have drawn Spider-Man before. If you check on my channel, I have drawn Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen before. I have drawn those before. And I've drawn Batman, from the DC universe. And usually I do tend to move on if I'm drawing like the same thing over and over. Because I do draw a lot of things like from video games, Nintendo, and then I also do my original artwork as well. So I try and balance things out as much as I can. Oh, I messed up. Okay, I messed up. I'm going to his head. This part should be blue right here. This part right here should be. And this, there you go. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to look her up. I've yeah, I'm gonna have to look her up. Let me hold on. Let me look it up. Kitty Pryde. Oh, it's her. Okay, see, yeah, because I like I said, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So she might be a deep cut for me because I only know like the basic, basic X-Men. Okay, now I know who that is. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not yeah, I don't know a lot of, I know the basic characters from X-Men. So yeah, now I know who that is though. So I didn't know that was her name or even how she looked like. But I'm like, oh, okay. She looks pretty cool. Yeah, I don't claim what is it to know every character or like the specifics, but that's a cool name too. Kitty Pride is a cool name. Yeah, usually when I do like sketches, I tend to draw one character per, per page. Oops. Yeah, the reason I drew Storm is because I've always wanted to draw Storm. Always wanted to draw Storm like digitally, and I wanted to see how she would look all colored up. Same thing with Wolverine. Right, cool. These blue highlights are looking pretty sick on Logan. His eye is bugging me though. His eye is bugging me, so I'm probably gonna fix that too. His eye and his nose. And again, this has only been part one. I mean, actually, this is part two of this painting series. I think I might have to do a part three to finalize Wolverine. And I need to this. Oh, I forgot his red belt. His red part of the belt, I guess. Getting that confused. See it down here. Oh, and his blue underwear. And these are still the basic base colors. They're still just the basic base colors. I haven't gone into full detail just yet. And the claws, I will be making those a gray color as well. All right, let's look at the time lapse replay of this. Look at the time lapse. And in the chat, anyone who's in the chat, who are your favorite X-Men or X-Men characters? Now that since I'm drawing X-Men characters. Earlier, I mentioned that I like, obviously, Storm, Wolverine, and Juggernaut. Psylocke looks cool. Ninja in the chat said he likes Nightcrawler. He's also another cool looking character. So many cool designs. So many cool designs. So this is a time lapse of what I have so far. So I ended up changing the claws just to kind of be super exaggerated and kind of in your face with that pose. Oh, I need to fix this. Oh yeah, Magneto. Magneto's a sick looking character. Yes, Magneto looks so dope. And again, I'm kind of using the art style from Marvel vs. Capcom, which is one of my favorite ways that they've done their characters. So freaking cool. And by the way, I'm gonna show you guys what I have so this is Storm. She's for the most part almost complete. So this is what I did with Storm. So I'm gonna do a time lapse so you guys can see that. And I'll be right back. Yeah, Magneto is such a cool looking character. And Mr. Anti, do you know about the Darkstalkers series? And on my other channel, I was streaming Darkstalkers from the Capcom Fighting Collection. And that's also another type of for example, what's her name? Felicia. What else is her name? Felicia. Morgan from Darkstalkers. Eventually, I'm going to be drawing those in my tiny sketchbook too, because those are almost all the characters from Darkstalkers look so freaking cool. You know, when Capcom go together with Marvel, their art style looks so cool. Alright, so this is what I have of Storm. So what I'm using is some very striking black outlines. A combination of some flat shadows and some softer colors as well, just to keep it from looking so flat. Oh, okay, yeah, so watch, I'm gonna put a link. So watch. Whenever you get a chance, I do have another channel where I just do, this is my video game channel. Whenever you have a chance, those characters look so freaking cool. If you've played Marvel vs. Capcom, you'll know which ones I'm talking about. They have such a cool design because they're all monster related. I think you would like that just because the style is kind of similar to, the X-Men. But yeah, the Darkstalker series always had some cool looking designs. Yeah, I'm gonna fix his nose. His nose is bugging me. I'm gonna erase. Yeah, something about his nose was bugging me. Fix it. Same thing with his eye. His eye was bugging me. Okay, so I'm fixing his eyes. The eyes were bugging me because they looked a little weird. I'm just kind of erasing it and just filling it back in. Oh, his nose is looking a lot better. Now I'm gonna paint the yellow right on top. Oh, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind whenever I do my sketchbook. I'll keep that. What is it? Kitty Pryde and Spider-Man. I'll find a cool one and I'll keep that in mind for my when I do my sketchbook. So for sure I'll keep that one in mind. And that'll be a perfect one for me to do since I haven't actually never. I'll probably find a cool looking Kitty Pryde one and see how that one turns out. So is there a comic of Spider-Man kissing Kitty Pryde? I'm sure I can find some online. Sure I can find some. I'm gonna fix his mouth. Oh, you know what? I'm probably gonna make his mouth and his jawline way bigger than it should be. I mean, a little bit bigger than normal, just to kind of emphasize. Add some shadows in his mouth. Definitely need. Oh, there you go. His tongue looks way better that way. His tongue looks so much better. All right, so now I made his eyes a little too big, so I'm gonna cover some of that up. You know what? I might as well start coloring in his. First, I need a gray just to kind of his claws. I'm gonna do a basic, almost like this basic gray, kind of real quick. All right, so this is looking better. This is looking so much better. Adding all of the base colors in. Let me remove. I'm gonna clean up that sketch as well. I'm gonna start erasing some of those sketch lines. Let me see how everything looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna start erasing some of those sketch lines a little bit. So I'm going in for those claws. Yeah, because if I don't clean up those under sketches, it's gonna kind of look a little bit too messy. I do want it to have a clean look just like I did with Storm. So I'm gonna zoom in and just start erasing. Now it's time for some of the cleanup. Right before I get into any super detailed colors, shadows, lighting, things like that. I will leave some kind of line sticking out here and there. Oh, so that's when it comes out. It comes out July 26th. Okay, I was not paying attention to the date, Ninja. I was not paying attention to the date of the release of the movie. But it was funny though, because I know that I am going to, right around the day of that it releases, or maybe a few days after, or right before, that's when I'm going to do that Deadpool that I told you about, where I'm going to do the cleanup of it. I'm gonna put it back into Photoshop. I mean, not Photoshop, into my iPad, and just kind of clean it up, make it a lot better. And yeah, I'm gonna do it around that time. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know it was that soon. I was not a paying attention. I wasn't paying attention to the date. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I think hopefully it's gonna be good. Hopefully it's good. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of the date. So yeah, that one was definitely gonna be my next one that I've been wanting to clean up and just make and just kind of see if I can make it look a little bit better. Cleaning up some of these colors as well. So yeah, I wonder what cameos are going to show up, huh, for Deadpool and Wolverine. I wonder what cool cameos they're gonna do. So I'll definitely tag you on the Discord whenever I do this the live edit for Deadpool. If you happen to be around, that'd be cool. But yeah, I remember Deadpool 1 was so funny. Deadpool 1 was so funny. Part 2 was a fun one too. Part 2 was fun too. The action in part 2 was fun. Alright, I'm erasing all of these little lines here. And I color those back in with yellow. Some of these sketch lines, yeah, I don't need anymore. Kinda messed up because I should have used a different layer. I think I blended in 2 layers by accident. Good. Yeah, I think I blended in some colors by accident. I mean, some layers by accident. All right, so I cleaned up everything that I could there. Let me, you know what, might as well just clean up all of this from his flaws. All right, there you go. That looks super clean now. That looks clean. Let's do a quick time lapse of this. See the time lapse. Oh yeah, so Ninja, did you end up watching X-Men 97? I was very surprised because you know Disney's track record right now has been terrible. But X-Men 99 was actually really, really good. It was actually really, really good. Cool. So far, so good. And I think I'm gonna be adding some sketchiness, some sketchy black pencil outlines just to kind of give it more of a texture. Keep it from looking flat. Oops, wrong one, wrong. Yeah, so far the fingers actually look nice. They came out pretty good. I think I'm gonna fix some of these claws, make them a little bit thinner, especially since they're all the way back there. So watch, I'm going to use, yeah, I'm gonna use the liquefy tool to kind of push some of this in. Just a little bit. Oops. And then just erase a little bit of, they're a little bit too, I'm gonna fix his face. His face is looking a little rough with the colors. And I think I'm gonna make his jaw way bigger, a lot bigger than normal. All right, there you go. This is looking a little bit more menacing from Wolverine. That looks so much better. That looks so much better. All right, so I'm painting in his teeth because I did kind of use the liquify tool, kind of stretch his mouth out. I felt like he needed to be a little bit angrier, so that's looking a lot better. And now I feel like I'm gonna grab all of these and just maybe turn them a little bit. Yeah, that's so. I'm gonna kind of do a free form. I'm gonna stretch them out just a little bit. Right, that looks so much better. I feel like I can also I can warp all of this. So let's see. I'm gonna make it so that it's a little bit more exaggerated. I do want it to feel like it's coming at you. That looks so much cooler. That looks so much cooler. So I've never done Ninja. I never done any drawing competitions, but have I ever done one? I've entered a few here and there, but I've never really won any. I remember I did a Splatoon competition a few years ago, but no. And I've entered a few here and there that my friend had told me about. Like I remember I entered a competition. Yeah, I haven't really looked into those even growing up, but I did always win a lot of awards in school for like my art and drawings and things like that. I did, but yeah, competitions not really. Maybe because I never really looked for them. I never really looked into that, but yeah, I don't think I ever really did. Oh, you can't draw a circle? Okay. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things where yeah, it is one of those things where I know people can be self-taught to draw, but I've literally always been I just knew how to draw since I was like 3 years old. I just knew how to draw when I was three and I just kind of kept on going. But yeah, I know, trust me. Like for example, there's so many things that people are good at that for example, like someone's always good at something and that you are not or whatever it is. That's just how it is. But yeah, trust me, even circles sometimes is like, really? I can't even draw that. Like, trust me, it takes a while to get used to drawing things like that. Or like the main thing that I always heard people like, I can't even draw a stick figure. But yeah, some things just come easier to other people. It just depends on what it is. Like, you know what? I was always envious of people who knew how to, or like into mathematics, who just, who like it just came easier to them. That was always hard for me was mathematics. It was like, oh, it was so annoying, so annoying. His boot is looking a lot better, a lot better, especially after just being cleaned up a lot. I can definitely go back in and clean it up more. I'm gonna add this black. All right, cool. Okay, so okay, so what I'm gonna do is do one more layer for now on top of. I'll do it on top of below the main black outline, And I'm gonna start experimenting with, let's see, for Storm, I did use color pencil. And let me see, let me go back if I remember what I used with Storm. Inking. I think it was painting. Did I use? No, it wasn't watercolor for paint. Let me see. It might have been watercolor. Let me see. Let me look at okay, so it was a little bit of watercolor brush. So I'm gonna record a little bit of this on my camera. Okay, so I'm gonna use a watercolor brush to add some textures on here. So let's go in for some highlights. Might as well. Start adding some cool looking highlights. Let's just kind of keep it things from looking so flat. So I'm going for that first. But yeah, Ninja, I definitely went when I went to school for drawing, you know, like I definitely saw a lot of people who were really, really good at different certain type of artwork. Like there's a lot of people who were really good at drawing anime and things like that that really came easy to them. So there was always definitely someone better than you or better than me, whatever. Okay, so I'm adding some highlights. Okay, so I'm adding some highlights into his fingers, and now I'm gonna take the same concept with the yellow and add a very light yellow highlights into his skin. I mean, into his suit. But this is definitely gonna need some yellow. I mean, some orange to balance out that bright, bright yellow. So I'm basically taking the base color and lightening it up, and that's what my um, highlights of the where the light is coming from. Okay, now I'm gonna do a different layer again. And this time it's gonna be the shadows. So I'm gonna take I'm gonna take this yellow and add some orange to it because there's a lot of great orange that I can use for a shadow. So let's see how that looks like. Okay, so far that texture isn't working just yet. Let me add. Okay, so I'm gonna add a solid. Yeah, this definitely needs a solid shadow first. I mean, a solid base color for the shadow before it can work. And let me see if this looks cool with green, color dodge. Luminosity might be another good one for just those type of shadows. Luminosity works, but no, I'm just gonna keep it normal. I'm just gonna go to multiply and kind of reduce it just a tiny bit. That's gonna look better. Oh yeah, adding that orange definitely helped out. Now it's looking really cool. Right, so I'm adding some of those shadows around his mouth. Also helps out. I'm gonna add some underneath this part of his shoulder pad thing that he has in his arm. I'm creating some shadows in his skin tone as well. I'll clean that up later. Right, and with that, I think I met my 2 hour mark that I wanted to stay on here for. I'm definitely not done. I'm definitely not done. I'm gonna do a quick time lapse, see how it looks, but I love the way it turned out. So far, it's looking really cool. So let's see how that looks like. But yeah, after definitely adding at least some different color ranges, values in the yellow, it made it look so much. It kept it from looking so flat. Oh yeah, this is where I changed up the pose. Yeah, the perspective really does make a difference. It's a dynamic perspective pose that I really like. Oh, the battery's running out also, so cool. So it came out, yeah, I love the way it turned out. So yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching Ninja. Thank you, Mr. Anti and everyone for watching. This is part 2. I will be making a part 3 and maybe a part 4 of this one so I can finally finish Storm and Wolverine, and I'm going to put them together just so they can look really cool together. So yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye. And if you did like what you see, hit the like button, ring the bell, and leave a comment.